They were desperate. They were so willing to move forward. They were ready to give their life. They were ready to get out of this situation that they've been in for so long. And somebody here today, you've got to be in that same predicament, saying that I've been here too long. I've been in this same situation far too long, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I'm ready for God to move in my life. I'm tired of stop saying the same prayer over and over again. I'm tired of coming to church and do the same shout. I'm tired of coming to church and say the same thing over and over again. I know a God that's living. He's well, and he's well able to do anything abundantly above all. They were desperate. Look at verses number 3 and look at verses number 4. It says, there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate. And they said, why sit we here until we die? They said one to another, we will enter into the city. Then the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we still sit here, we're going to die anyway. Let us therefore come and fall. Let us give ourselves unto the host of the Syrians, and if they save us alive, we're going to live. But if they kill us, we shall but die. Notice they took every precaution. Notice they looked at every side of the spectrum. They said, if we stay where we are right now, we're going to die. If we go inside of the city, there's a famine in there, and we might die there as well. They said, if we stay at this point, we're going to die anyway. Then they said, if we go into the city, then we can fall down to the Syrians. And either two things will happen. Either they'll kill us, or they'll let us live. And because of their predicament, because of their living situation, they did not care what would happen. All they knew, they had to do something. And they had to move. They were desperate. But not only were they desperate, they were desperate in faith. They said, we're leaving our lives in God's hands. Yeah. They trusted in God enough to say, well, if we die out here, we die. If we die with the famine, we're going to die anyway. If we go in the city, we stand the chance of having the Syrians to kill us or keep us alive. But we have so much faith in God that if he's going to kill us, he'll take us anyway. But if he keeps us alive, he's going to take care of us. Notice here in the text, they moved forward. They made up in their minds, we're getting out of our situation and we're pressing forward to God. They said, in spite of the opposition that we see, we're moving toward the opportunity that we may have. Ooh, let me talk. They were desperate. Secondly, when they acted out on faith, they discovered something. They discovered in verse 5 through 8 what God had already provided for them. It is said, whatever God gives a vision, he'll make provision. If God said, Can we have what our eyes can see? We see tents. We see the smoke. It smells like it's food in the vicinity. But if we stay on the outside, we can't have what we may be able to have, because our opportunity is on the other side. That's good news to somebody, because your opportunity is on the other side, and what you've got to do, you've got to make the first step. All right. Let me show you what they discovered. Look at verse 5. The text says, in the twilight, these 4 men, they arose to go into the camp of the Syrians. Now watch this. God has already worked it out. Yes, he has. You know the old cliche, why are you trying to figure it out? Huh? Somebody know what I'm talking about? Why are you trying to figure it out? God has already. Hear the text? They rose up in the morning, the twilight, to go into the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp, look what God did. Text says, behold, there was no man there. Now on the outside of the city gate, they already made up in their mind, when you see a soldier, just go ahead and throw your hands up and be at their mercy, because they may kill us or they may save us. But look at God. When they made the initial step to move toward their opportunity, God had already worked it out. When they entered into the city, the Bible says that there was no man to be sound. Now watch this. Keep going. For the Lord, here's his provisions. The Lord had made the hosts of the Syrians to do what? God Almighty. To hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses. And what else? Even the noise of a great host. And God, what he was doing, God scared away their enemies. I heard the Lord tell David, tell us, thou preparest a table. You'll get that in a few seconds. Before me in the presence of my enemies. And God had moved the enemies out of the way so they could have their stuff. Wait. And they said one to another, the king, Israel, has hired, all the kings to do this. This was the Lord at work. He hired against us the king of the Hittites and the king of the Egyptians to come upon us. Wherefore they arose and fled in the twilight.